Before I start this video, I would like to say that this is the 4.2 liter V6 engine. This is a 2007 F-150, and it does not have detailed video of removing the front main seal or replacing it. There is tips on how to get everything apart. Removing and replacing the seal will definitely be the easiest part. The harder part of the job will be getting the fan clutch removed, and this is not an instruction video. This is simply sharing some of the things that we did and techniques to get this apart, and we hope this helps you. Hey y'all, we're working on a 2007 Ford F-150, replacing the front main seal. I've already taken the fan and shroud off here so we can have access. You have to take that off. I'll do a video on how to get that off. It's a little bit tricky, but it's not too hard. Once you get down to this point, you need to go ahead and take your serpentine belt off. And okay guys, I'm just going to show you how to get this belt off pretty easy here. There is a bolt on your tensioner pulley here, and there's a star connector right down in there. So if you got a star, you can put it in there and probably twist that. I haven't checked that, so you just have to check and see. I just use this bolt right here, and get you a good long breaker bar or something. Makes it a lot easier. Just pull up counterclockwise. That belt will slide right off of there, no problem. So I'm putting this back together now. So that's just let the tension back on it after you slide it on. I recommend getting the whole belt put on except for this pulley right here. Reaching down, if you're just doing this by yourself, reaching down with your right hand, pulling up on that, and you can just slide that belt right underneath that idler pulley there. Once we get down to the main pulley down here, there's a bolt. It's just one bolt that holds that pulley on right in the center. And it's, let's see, I've got the size right here, 21 millimeter. And it would be easier whenever you're taking it off, just to put a air wrench on there. It'll come off a lot easier that way. You can pop it off. You will need a puller to get that pulley off, and this is the one that I used. It's just a simple puller. I got this at Napa. I think it was about 21 bucks. Just go pay the money. It'll be well worth your time to use that right there. You're not going to beat it off with a hammer. You need to get that tool right there. The 3 bolts holds it in. Run it in, and it'll take it right off of there. And once you get ready to put that back on, you'll just have to take a hammer and tap gently on the rim of the pulley to tap that back in place far enough to get the bolt started. And I try to get several turns on the bolt before I just start using the bolt to pull the pulley back on. Get it all the way on until you can't turn it anymore, and it starts turning the engine. And what I do, I take my ratchet, hold it on there once I get to that point, and just hit it with a hammer to make sure it is tightened securely. Pretty easy fix. The seal, once you get in there, you just get a seal remover and pick one of those up. I got one from Advance. So pretty easy to get it out of there. Just make sure you get your seal back in flush and square. And pretty easy job, not too bad. The hardest part was actually this right here, getting the clutch off. I'll do a video and show you how to do that here in just a minute. Okay guys, I'm going to show you here how I removed this fan clutch. And of course, this is just on here for sake of example. I don't have the fan on here. It's a little more crowded. You've got your shroud. So you have to be careful. Make sure you've got a good eye for swinging a hammer. Or you could probably get a some sort of a longer wrench or something. I just used this crescent that I had, and I didn't use anything to hold the pulley. because I didn't want to have to buy a new one. So some guys will say, you know, put a pipe wrench on there or something, but I didn't want to take a chance on messing up my pulley on the water pump there. So I just used the belt. The belt was on there. Use the belt for some, it'll give you a little bit of tension there. And just take your hammer and just hit this thing. Now, you're gonna have to hit it pretty hard to break it loose, but once it gets started, it's not too bad. So you're just using the tension that the belt is putting on that water pump pulley, and just smack that thing. Try not to hit your fan. You'll probably have to take your fan. There's 4 bolts that hold the fan to your clutch there, and you need to take the fan loose and cock it back a little bit so it's not in your way. Make sure you don't hit your fan. Just put that on. Okay guys, I just wanted to show you here, the quarters are a little tighter once you've got your shroud in here. Just wanted to show you what I did. I put that crescent right there, and so you can see there's not a lot of room, so you have to be pretty accurate with your hammer coming down through there. So and you'll have to whack on that thing pretty good to get that to pop loose. Now whenever you go to take it out, of course your shroud doesn't come out until your fan is loose. So what you do, once you get that loose, your fan will come loose. You have to take a bolt out on either end of the top of the shroud, and you have to flip the shroud up, kind of get it cockeyed vertically to get it to come out of there. So whenever you're going back on with your fan, just hold your fan. That's the easiest way, unless you got a nice skinny arm. You can get down in there to that bolt. I just hold the fan until I get this on. You can see that nut screwing on to the water pump there. Alright, there we are. To snug that up, what I'm going to do is just put this back on here and use my hammer like so to snug that thing back up. Again, watch your shroud and fan there. Get it pretty good. You don't want that fan flying off. So do it like that, get it back on there, get it good and snug, and it should be good to go.